TEDx Honolulu, Behind the Talk and Beyond the Scenes. With me today, we are so pleased to welcome Beana Grosz. She is the newest member to the TEDx Honolulu team, and she is going to be the volunteer curator. So we're very excited and honored to have her and have you with us today and have you in that position.
So thank you so much for having me, and I'm honored as well to finally be a part of the TEDx Honolulu team.
Wonderful. On the other side of it, yeah?
Yeah, on the other side. Not watching it, but on the other side as well, yeah.
Great.
It's been an amazing adventure so far. Yeah.
So what brought you to TED in general? Do you remember what first got you involved?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a well-known brand, and behind that, of course, is ideas worth spreading. And just being on the mainland, that's where I previously was before I came to Hawaii. I just was so captivated by the talks and the ideas worth spreading, and I wanted to be a part of it. So finally, I mustered up the strength, or whatever. I figured out where it was in Hawaii, and I went to it, and I had a blast. And that's when, I wanted to be a part of it even more.
Wonderful. So how long have you been here?
I've been here for about 2 years.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
And you first went to this most recent TED Talks?
Yep, yeah, the one that just recently happened.
Nice.
Yeah, so I really enjoyed it.
Yeah? What was your impression of the event itself, or the venue, or any of the...
So I think prior to going, I thought it would have been all about, of course, the speakers, which was very intriguing and interesting, but also I think it's the aura, or the, kind of like the free space to discuss anything you want. It kind of sets this mood, and that's what you don't talk about. You need to go to experience it in order to understand that. You'll be waiting in line to get your lunch, and you'll have a conversation about sustainability with someone.
Right.
And that's not in everyday life, that might happen, but it kind of facilitates the conversation and makes hopefully change happen.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you enjoyed which talk? I know that we were talking before, and I know you enjoyed all of them, but was there any one that really kind of, for you, represents what you enjoy about TED Talks?
Yeah, so it was Gabriel Yanagihara, and I'm sorry if I butcher that, but he had this, he works at Ilani School, and he does a lot of, he uses technology to educate children, and he, the biggest thing is Minesweep or Minecraft.
Minecraft,
sorry, see, I'm a little old.
It's okay.
But it's Minecraft, and kids love that, and so he wanted to teach them about Hawaiian history and hokulea and Hawaiian culture, and so he utilized Minecraft to have them set up these, this world of the hokulea, and have the voyage and whatnot, and so the kids responded, and he kind of gave them the tools within this world they already knew how to use, and they went on Wikipedia, they kind of Googled their own education, and they crafted their own way to learn about Hawaiian history, and I thought that was so impressive. Why not use something kids already like to teach them a very important lesson?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that's important to remember about TEDx and TED Talks, is that the fact that it gives people that space to think differently,
right.
and then to make others think differently, and it kind of is a domino effect.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's a really interesting
and if
part.
we can have those conversations, and we can talk about ideas hopefully outside of it, or maybe someone exchanges a business card and they meet for coffee after and they talk about those things further, and maybe those ideas in turn lead to change and impactful change, and that's
right.
what I think is the larger picture that would be really cool to kind of see that happen as well.
So that sounds like maybe that was one reason that you decided to join the team?
Yeah, that's what I met with Genesis, the lead curator of the TEDx Honolulu organization, and that's exactly what I told her, and she's like, you know what? I'm from PR right now, I work in PR, and she's like, you sound like the perfect person for the volunteer curator. We're creating this position, we want to create this experience for people outside of the event, and of course at the event, but leading up to it. So she's like, I think you're gonna be it. I'm like, cool, so here I am, yeah.
Yeah, and that's great. That's the one thing about Genesis, is that she finds people who are passionate, and then she will put them in a place where she does think that they would fit, but also maybe it's not an area they're experienced in, but that she knows that they would probably do a great job. So she sees your enthusiasm, and you're talented, obviously, and experienced in other things, that maybe there's enough crossover that you would, fit well during doing something like the volunteer curator, which we definitely need, because last year there were lots of volunteers, but it's a huge job to keep them involved and on task and motivated and consistent and all of that.
And one of our goals is it's of course important to have collaborative and everyone is welcome at the table and we all talk about the ideas that we hope to have what the TEDx event will be, but also let's have fun while we're doing that. We can discuss what we want the main event to be, but we should have these innovative discussions and the TEDx theme throughout this volunteer session to also facilitate us as individuals and leaders as well. So
wow,
that's our
something.
That's our goal. That's what we're
great.
We're still kind of painting the picture of what that's going to be, because what is that we don't know, but we are going to do it.
That's great. Yeah, I never even thought about it, because of course I do have fun volunteering. Just seeing the other people that I enjoy and have met through volunteering with TEDx, which is, I believe, I'm on my third TEDx
awesome.
year. Yeah, so it's been really exciting, and I really look forward to that. But I haven't really experienced what you're talking about, having fun along the way. Definitely the collaborative process is certainly fun. I'm not saying that, but just having someone who makes it their job to kind of keep things in line. Genesis does so much, so it's so great to have someone like
amazing.
you.
Yeah, I'm excited to be a part of it, and already we're having these awesome discussions, and we're talking about what that might be like, and it's so fun to be a part of it. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So can I ask, what is your favorite TED Talk?
Yeah, so locally it was the one with the Ilani School, but also the Elizabeth Gilbert piece when she was talking about being an elusive, creative person and the challenges she had when she just wrote this best-selling book, and people were coming up to her and were like, you know what are you going to do next? You're doomed.
What now?
Yeah.
Exactly.
And she said a really good point about why any other job outside of a creative field, you don't ask those questions. You'd be like, okay, good job, keep doing it, So it raises the point with creativity, we should be a more fostering and nurturing environment. And that's what I like to work in a creative space, and including TEDx. And we need to kind of foster that and help each other out more.
Wonderful. Well, it seems like you'll probably be bringing a lot of that to the volunteer experience with TEDxHonolulu. So we can, tell people that they have that to look forward to if they'd like to volunteer with us. And so that's great. I would like to talk to you about how you connected with Genesis specifically. Did you contact her just so that people out there know if they'd like to get involved, how to go about it? And
Yeah, so I actually went up to another lead at the day of the event, gave them exchange information, and then he put me in touch with her. We met for coffee, and we had such a good time. It felt like I was hanging out with one of my friends, and we had a lot of the same goals. And again, it's still, to me, I don't know, it's unknown for me because I haven't been on the team for a whole event. So it still is very abstract and unknown, but just her enthusiasm and her, motivation to do it for her, for herself, I was like, yes, I see a lot of the same points, again, back to ideas we're spreading, and, a lot of the same things she was saying, it was how I felt as well. So I was like, I'm in the right spot, and it's hard to, I've been searching for a volunteer organization, and it's hard to kind of find one. I was searching for 8 months.
No kidding.
Yeah, and I wanted it to be more than just, it's of course important to have have an event and come there and do that, and that's fine if that's all you can commit to. But I want it to be something, a part of something bigger than just showing up. I want it to be a part of the, let's create something with that. That's why we volunteer.
It's true.
We have our day jobs, and those are amazing, but let's do something outside of that to, do something else.
Yeah, I'm sorry I'm laughing. It's just funny because here you decide to volunteer after searching for 8 months, and then you take on probably one of the biggest roles aside from Genesis, because it's a volunteer-led organization, and you're leading the volunteers.
Yeah, so. I don't think I've told myself that yet, but I think if I'm blind to just keep going, it's fine, because what it is worthy enough to me, and I'm passionate about it, and I think that can drive me no matter how much time or commitments asked of.
Yeah, and actually one thing that's good about the volunteer experience with TEDxHonolulu specifically is that you can kind of tailor it to you. It's like, okay, these are our goals and objectives, and this is how much I'm willing to do, and then the rest you kind of can fit it in,
Right.
or you can delegate it, or, you can take on as much or as little as you want.
Right. And that's what we hope for. People of all different capacities and what they can volunteer for. We hope that they do what they can, and that's very much appreciative, no matter if you show up on the day of the event or if you can commit to a larger role. But it's all important, and we need all of our volunteers in order to have our end goal. So,
Right.
yeah.
So have you put any thought into what kinds of things you would be doing with the volunteers, or what kinds of?
We've come up with some like we would have, so every month we're going to have our regular meetings, and that would normally be when we would discuss updates and whatnot, but hopefully we can do it, tailor it, where we don't have to have all those meetings be kind of like a business check-in. Like we can do that outside of having a meeting and use those meetings as a space to do some type of event. So if it's a sustainability event or something
Nice.
else that can actually, why not, if we're so passionate about what we're doing, why can't we get together and do something? It's still kind of in the works.
What a great idea,
But-
though. No, I know, and I'm sorry to put you on the
Yeah,
spot.
no,
'cause-
absolutely. Yeah.
but
I'm
that
interested in
just
hearing your
sounds really
feedback.
cool.
What do you want as a volunteer?
Right. I really like the collaborative event. So like I think that one of the other, Valerie Rivera, who was a really amazing, she helped us, but now she's moved. She was with the the speaker team, and she was saying that some of the organizations that she has worked with do, and I think that she is responsible for helping some of them do this, is combining two like fields that might not ordinarily work together at all, sustainability and registration. Why would they possibly? Well, let's see, we could save paper on the registration. They can definitely collaborate and come up with some completely out-of-the-box things that they never would hear about. So I would love to see that kind of working with someone that perhaps I wouldn't I wouldn't go out of my way to work with, because I'm not experienced in
Yeah.
that, or I'm not good at that, or what have you. I
Yeah.
think that is really cool. A lot of good things happen.
Yeah,
from
and that goes back to the TEDx, the whole theme of it is you have, and I think it's been one of the only spaces where when I attended it, we had people from all different walks of life, all ages, all different industries, and we're sitting next to each other and we're talking, and you don't get to do that again every day. And so it's really neat to see that. And so some of the ideas we were kind of shooting around would be something as simple as coming up with or polling some of the issues in the community, and let's all, again, everyone team up. What would you do to solve this? And what can just why not again?
Wow, that's so exciting.
Just like that,
really.
and what again each people kind of brings to the table, and let's have a discussion about it. And what if they were good enough that we could present them to somebody?
Wow.
So stuff
What's
like,
your passion? And then maybe you could pair people with similar passions, and then pair them with someone that seems opposite but probably complementary. And
Yeah.
wow, what a great idea.
So it's hard because we're trying to distinguish what that's going to be, and I think right now we're kind of gearing it more towards like a leadership and development type model. And so we've been researching, we've been meeting with key nonprofit leader organizations in the area to kind of hear how they curated their own programs and how we can bring that to us, and what makes us different and what makes us unique, and how can we utilize that to our advantage.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure as a PR exec, you probably have a lot of experience working with different teams of people and kind of, having it all mesh together and seem seamless. And so that's really exciting.
My own job, so I'm in PR, and our organization facilitates cross-account team collaboration, and what happens from that is you're always working with different people, there's always different ideas happening, and it really facilitates this new wave of thinking if you're in a bunch or whatnot. So it's definitely neat to kind of rally around and we're a team, let's solve this, and it's great.
Right. So you mean, what did you mean when you say cross-account?
Yeah, so in my firm, we just with any company, you have a boss, and then the boss has a boss as well. But we're not really siloed into those. It's not there will be different accounts where I'm working with other people, and I'll be on their account. So it's not like set in stone. So, but in turn, you get to work with different people all the time. You have new, fresh ideas. Some way how someone approaches a problem or comes up with a solution, you might be like, oh, I haven't thought about that before.
Right.
So how can I, tailor that to the work I'm doing? So it goes back to what you're saying earlier about, having this. If we had like a forum where we kind of discuss things and bringing people together from different backgrounds, we could in turn, talk about something new for a
Right.
change. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah, so it's
Well, I look forward to talking to you more about
Likewise.
this after the break.
Yeah.
Locker, and I am the host of Business in Hawaii. Business in Hawaii is a show where we invite guests to come on and explain the secrets of their success for having a successful business in Hawaii. Contrary to popular belief, having a successful business in Hawaii is possible, and there are many examples of that. So please tune in on Thursdays at 2 o'clock, and you can catch us live on livestream.com for our Business in Hawaii show. You can also get the archives on hawaiitechhawaii.com, and we're also on YouTube and also on Oleo and OC16 occasionally. So please join us, find out the secrets of success, how to have a successful business, and I hope to see you on Thursdays.
Hi, I'm Donna Blanchard. I'm the host of Center Stage here on Think Tech Hawaii. Center Stage airs every Wednesday at 2 o'clock, and of course you can check out our archives on YouTube or on Think Tech Hawaii anytime you like. Why should you do that? Because this is an arts show that I believe is making a difference in lives. We talk with artists of various ilk. We talk with painters and writers, playwrights, novelists, poets, sculptors, dancers, you name it, directors, actors, of course. And we don't only talk about what people do, but we talk about how they do it. And my favorite part of the conversation, we talk about why they do it. And it's really common on this show to hear people say, wow, I didn't think about it that way. And it's very common to hear people afterwards who have seen the show say the same thing. And I hear all the time that people are inspired by the conversations that we have. So.
Welcome back to Think Tech, and we are with our lovely Beana Grosz today, and we first would like to send a call out if anyone's watching and would like to tweet any questions or comments or thoughts, please do so at ThinkTechHI. And so now, Beana, back to our volunteer. Beana, again, in case you missed the first segment, is our newest volunteer curator with TEDxHonolulu, so we're super excited to have you. And we're just going to talk to you about just general the recruitment process, or what kind of things you're looking for or doing, or
Yeah, so we still need about 10 volunteers on the lead level, we're calling it, curator level. It requires a lot more commitment, but in turn a lot more rewards, because you get to kind of make something your own. Some of those positions include, productions team, speaker trainers, registration, scholarship. So check out the website. The Artist in Residence program, which is amazing. But check out the website at TEDxHonolulu.org, and you can look to kind of what the responsibilities are of each of those, what's expected, and always ask questions if you have any.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
Would it be possible to share a position? Like, I would love to give more than I did before, right? Leading a group, one of these teams rather, would be very fulfilling, and I'd learn a lot, I'm sure, but I don't maybe have the time. So would you recommend someone like me? Could I, with another person who was just as interested but also didn't have the time, could we share
Absolutely.
a leadership role,
Yeah.
or should I just, yeah?
Yeah, no, because I think everyone should be allowed to volunteer. So yeah, if you can find a partner or even come to one of the first meetings, we have our first kickoff on September 19th at UH. More details will be on the website and Facebook as well. But yeah, come and see what you're passionate about, and we'll find someone that can work with you. We'll find a spot for you if you want to volunteer.
Wonderful.
Yeah, we won't turn
wonderful.
anyone away.
Right.
Everyone's good.
Good. Okay, that's wonderful to hear.
And that's another thing that I wanted to tell you about was that with certain things, like, or when I was also watching TEDx, back when I lived on the mainland, and just always been such an avid follower of the TEDx program, I think it's so amazing. I think at every point in your life, you're going to need some type of public speaking skills. And of course, I sound biased because I'm in public relations,
Right.
but it could be something as talking to your spouse or talking to your colleagues. There's definitely, I went to college and I fell asleep maybe a few times in some of my classes, but I've never fallen asleep in a TEDx presentation. And there are skills there, communication skills, and you can utilize those to, get your point across or create some really impactful conversations. And that's something also that attracted me to the organization.
That's a good point that you bring up, actually, Brianna, because like, let's say for even the TEDx speaker. So if someone, I know our speaker training program helps people, like if they have a great idea, but they don't know how to make it succinct within the 18 minutes that they have to speak about it, or let's say they have a great idea, but they don't have enough content. They know how to give you just a little bit of the information, but they don't really know how to go into explanation of certain things, then
And tie
we
it all
have,
back.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so that's what our speaker team and our speaker trainers are for, and that's something that was really surprising to me. Now being on this side, is that it's a long-term program, and we work with you. We help you draft your content. We do practice runs. We give you, feedback, and that's why all of the TEDx presentations you see are amazing, because they've been crafted and worked on and finessed, and that's why they're so great and so impactful.
Yeah, because sometimes someone has a great idea or great concepts and great research or what have you, but they don't really know how to, speak about it clearly or in an effective way. And especially if this is maybe a very different venue than they've probably spoken about it. So the speaker concierge, rather, the speaker trainers help with that, and I think that's pretty unique,
Right.
To our program, to TEDxHonolulu that we have, and it's a pretty big company. It's actually, I think, one of the largest kind of companies that help people learn how to speak, which
Yeah, and it's so empowering to be able to get to that point where you can get your message across. And essentially, it could be on our global stage of the TEDx platform. And that's pretty neat. The ideas and these topics that we're discussing here in Hawaii that mean a lot to the local community can be heard and listened to on a global platform.
Well, yeah, I mean, I believe that that's how they choose the talks for, or some of them at least, many of them, the TED talks, they get them from, some of them from the local
Right.
TEDx's,
Yeah.
so that's pretty exciting.
Yeah. And that's what's so fun too, just about the app and the website itself, the actual TED organization website, is you can go on there and you can be wondering about any topic you want, storytelling, and you can go on there and what pops up are 10 different conversations on storytelling in all different ways.
Exactly.
Like, it's such a good tool and resource that you can use for anything in life, even like work conversations, like how to interpret feedback or how to, do anything, I guess.
Exactly.
It's so broad and so expansive that it's really impressive what's on there. And plug it in, plug your phone into your car and listen to some of these talks, like on the drives. I know we don't have long drives here in Hawaii, but we can do a few laps.
We have a lot of traffic.
Well, we have
so
traffic,
Maybe
so
the
yeah,
drive
yeah.
isn't long, but the commute
The
is.
commute, yeah. So listen to it in traffic. There you go. But
Yes.
but yeah, it's really fun to kind of integrate it into everyday life and learn some new things you've kind of been wondering about.
It's a really good point, and that actually goes back to what we were saying earlier about the volunteer experience, because
Yeah.
I know that you're in PR and you have a pretty diverse history, but this still is something that you haven't done. It's
Yeah.
kind of broadening your range even more, because
Yeah.
some of the things touch on some of the experience that you have, but a lot of it hasn't, and so you're like willing to try and
You're right.
and learn new things. And
Yeah, and that's a good point too, is just volunteering in general. Why do it? You know, it's so awesome to be a part of something bigger than yourself. And, you know, you don't have to come volunteer for TEDx, but go try something new. Hopefully it's TEDx, but just, you know, it's amazing to be a part of something, and yeah, to learn something new that you never thought you believed in yourself that you could do, or like how Genesis said to me, right, you're going to be the volunteer curator.
Right, you were like, I've never even thought about it, let alone believed that I could do it.
Yeah,
but
I'm going to
okay.
develop a leadership program for people, and we're going to do this. And that sounds, and I was like, okay, yeah, we're going to do it.
Incredible.
So, yeah. So
and what made you take on the leadership role instead of just saying, well, I think maybe I should just, help out a little bit, or?
I don't know, just throw your hat in the ring, let's do it, and let's get it done. Let's have fun.
That is
Why not?
great.
You know?
That's exactly
Yeah.
what we need, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
That's
it's
what
been-
makes the world go around.
Yeah,
I know it sounds
right?
trite, but
Right.
it really is.
No.
People with passion and with the the willingness to try things and expand their broaden their horizons and expand their
Yeah, right.
way of thinking.
Just
yes.
do it. Yeah, and I've only been on for a month, and it's been so fun, and I've already learned so much, and just, again, like having this conversation and talking to other people in the community. I do that, but now it's on a whole nother level.
Right.
And that's why I really like volunteering with TEDx, and would encourage others to look into it, or look into something that they've been wondering about and want to learn more about, because you never know what it could lead to.
Yeah, and that's something that's really important. Not that we do it for that, but so many volunteer positions that I've had have really propelled me to do something else, or someone's like, wow, you're really great at that. How would you like to come work for me? So they've led to jobs, or I've gotten amazing references for them, or now a new line of work entirely on the side that I would never have considered. And so it's really great for that.
Yeah,
also.
yeah, and you hear those stories all the time, and especially in Hawaii, we have such a small local community. It's the people that are coming to the TEDx event, and the people who are a part of this organization and the community are doing really great things, and it's so fun to kind of rub elbows with those people and like, oh, how's your job? What are you doing? Oh,
Right.
like, also learning about other people here, and making some new friends.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so, but back to the TEDx event, what was also really neat about it was how they had the sustainability movement. So I thought it was very compelling, especially from a communication standpoint.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. I look forward to
Yeah, we'll talk
talking
about
more
it.
about that, last segment, because that's a really good point.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for joining us.
Aloha, how you doing? I'm Gordo the Tech Czar here on Think Tech Hawaii, where we co-host Hibachi Talk, where we talk about technology and bring in all kinds of cool guests. Also, my co-host with me today is
Andrew the security guy. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching Think Tech Hawaii, and thanks for watching Hibachi Talk. We also have Angus.
Hello there, lad. It's Angus. I bring in all kinds of wee things. Oh, look, you see my lips moving.
We're back here with Beana Grosz, our newest and most amazing volunteer.
Relax.
I'm really happy to have
you.
you, because it's such a huge position, and volunteer curator. And because TEDxHonolulu is volunteer run, even Genesis, the lead curator, is a volunteer. So it's pretty amazing that it happens like it does every year. Just run on volunteers. So
Yeah.
we're really excited to have you to help kind of, make that a little tighter and more well-run program. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I know. I'm so excited, and can't wait to see what comes from this event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that before we took a break, we were talking about some of the things that you were looking forward to with the volunteer curator position, or some of the things that...
Yeah, so I was discussing how at the last event, remember how there was the sustainability piece of like the
Yes.
invitation, And I thought it was so amazing, again, from a communication standpoint. Like, we set up the expectation, like, months in advance. Like, you know, here's your ticket. Also, have you thought about how you're getting to the event? And I was like, whoa, no, I haven't. I never do. But since it was kind of strung on throughout the course of the reminders and, you know, the day before, like, how are you getting there? There was carpool groups and bike lane groups and all these different people
Bike
coming
valet,
together.
and then raffles for
If
the
you
bike
did it,
valeters. Yeah.
Right, so it was really cool at kind of changing human behavior and about something, and it was so simple, just, you know, reminding people and sending out some emails, and but I think it made it was so fun to talk to people, like, how did you get here today?
Right.
And, you know, just it was really neat, and they also had the model of all Oahu, and it was color coded on how people arrived. One person arrived on got there by a unicycle.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
He needed a whole different piece of string
he had
for him.
a whole other different colored string.
Nice.
So it was just like, whoa, like it's once you kind of give people the chance to, like, think outside of the box, you know, we always think we're gonna drive there, we're gonna drive. People will respond, and that was cool. And what if we, you know, sent that idea to other people in the community that have events all the time and said, hey, this is what worked for us, do you wanna try it?
It's a great idea.
So
It's a
stuff
kind of
like
a call
that.
to action. It's like
Yeah.
taking the ideas we're spreading and actually putting them.
Yeah, we
to
can discuss these things, but what are we going to do about them?
Exactly.
Yeah, and so that goes back to the volunteer, kind of like, if you're joining the volunteer team at these monthly sessions, I would hope to kind of do some of that and, you know, make some change, even if it's small, but every small change adds up.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's a good point, and I think that it's great ideas that you have. A great idea that you have in terms of letting people meet the individual groups. Perhaps you know, they can kind of handle that themselves and email and stuff like that, and figure out what their jobs are and make sure that we're on task and that everything's going well. But to also have a once monthly meeting instead of everyone meeting together and then I'm hearing stuff that I don't really even need to hear and the meeting's taking so long, but actually I'm going there and I'm learning something, or
Yeah.
I'm having a chance to, you know, sharpen my leadership skills, or you know, get together besides just the social thing, which is
Yeah.
also
Yeah.
really a great, huge part for me of why I volunteer.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm looking forward to that and seeing what we can do. And again, at our kickoff meeting on September 19th, we're open to discussion. Let's hear what, you know, you folks want and what you guys want to see out of this volunteer group.
So it's September 19th at UH.
Yeah,
from
Wist Hall from 10 till 12.
10 to 12 at Wist Hall. So, and there's probably lots of information on.
Yeah, on
The
our website
Facebook?
and on Facebook.
Okay.
We ask that you RSVP so we know that you're coming, so we can, you know, craft some of our fun activities towards the people that, you know, the number of people that are coming. We have a
Nice.
survey, a volunteer survey questionnaire to see where we can kind of place you. Of course, what's your favorite TED Talk? That's like our favorite question.
Right.
And kind of see, you know, learn more about you. And, you know, we hope that you bring kind of a little story of yourselves to the session our first session, and learn about you.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what's great about volunteering also, is that you meet all kinds of people from all walks, and everyone's got a story. Yeah, and
Right,
it's so
right.
interesting to hear what it is and to see, oh, hey, I bet you'd love to talk to so-and-so because he's done this
Yeah,
too.
it makes
and-
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, looking forward to that.
Cool.
Yeah.
So I'd love to learn a little bit more about you. I know you have a really diverse background, medical and now, you know, PR. So can you just tell us what your
Yeah.
path has been and how you arrived here with us?
Yeah, so I'm a big believer in that you should love what you do, and you should wake up every day and, you know, and enjoy what you're doing. And so that started for me in college at Michigan State. I'm from Michigan, and it started. I was a human biology. That was my major, and so I graduated with that, and I was on the path to pursue either a medical degree or potentially a nursing degree, something definitely within healthcare. So I was a nursing assistant. I worked with Alzheimer's patients. I worked in the lab at UCLA, and I worked in surgical pathology. We got, you know, everything from surgery came to us, and we kind of had to make sure it all went to the right place and got the right tests done, and yeah, kind of categorized it. And all of those positions were amazing. And then I came here. And was like, okay, how do I take this? I've always loved business. How do I incorporate business into healthcare? So I was doing medical device sales, and I worked in all the hospitals on island. I was educating physicians on how to use my products, which were for minimally invasive and laparoscopic surgeries.
Nice.
And I would be in the OR right behind them, like, hey doc, you gotta do this, you gotta do this, you gotta use that. And it was intense and it was fun, but I was like, what else is out there? I feel like I've conquered healthcare. I know I don't have enough passion to fully pursue this into the health, for a medical degree. What else can I do? And so actually I had a blog and I was writing on that about my adventures in Hawaii, and all my family was kind of watching it and reading it back home. It's called the Pineapple Chronicles. It's not that big, don't worry about it. But it was just so fun to document life in Hawaii, and I was really loving it. And I was like, wait, I've always loved writing. Why aren't I doing that? And my amazing boyfriend put me in touch with a PR firm, and I met them, and the firm is awesome, and they really kind of encompass everything I was looking for my career and what I was passionate about. And so here I am. I have my human biology degree, and I'm mostly write every day, and I'm so happy.
Incredible.
Yeah,
Wow. So you never thought that you would be interested in something like that? He just thought, okay, this is writing, and I know these people, and how about talking
I think
to
a
them?
lot of the things I was looking for in a career, he saw that with the person he knew, and he was like, you need to meet her. And I did, and she was wonderful, and so is the firm, and it's just a really, it's been really great. And looking back now, because now I've been reflecting on my whole life, I'm like, oh my gosh, I've always been a communicator. My parents would have birthday cards, and I would be 10, and they wanted to write a sweet message to them, and to family members, and I'd be like, well, this is what you should write, and I was a 10-year-old, and it was just, I enjoyed it, and I love communicating and thinking about what's behind communications, and so yeah, it makes perfect sense now. I feel I'm at home.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you're really fortunate to be in that position, and that they took a chance on you, even though you didn't have experience, but you clearly, come off as very capable, and they could tell that you could do it, and your passion, enthusiasm definitely is show-stopping and will make you consider, okay, well, let's take a chance on this girl.
Yeah, it's a perfect fit. And just even the firm I work for also has a virtual office. And that's something I dreamed about, but never knew you could really have that. And so it's really awesome with facilitating your creative, mindset when you have to be writing certain things. So it's really helpful with
so
that.
So you can go somewhere else and do it, or okay.
Yeah, I can go to a coffee shop, I can work from home. A lot of times I like to work where my clients' businesses are to get the lay of the land. What's the community like there? How do we acknowledge that?
Get a better feel for it, kind of.
Boots on the ground. Let's figure that out.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's a mid-size kind of firm, but you have some pretty big accounts for.
Yeah. We represent a lot of companies. A lot of industries in Hawaii and a lot of companies. It's called the Beana Grosz. There's about 10 people. So there's 10 people, but we make a big impact.
Wow.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah. Amazing
great.
people, and I think they also kind of empowered me to go after big things and believed in me to do things I didn't even know I could do myself. So I kind of felt it personally in my career, and I'm like, okay, let's go do this somewhere else with volunteering, and they're big supporters and giving back to the local community too.
Great.
Yeah.
Wow, that's wonderful. So maybe we can look at them as a partner at some point.
Definitely.
Because we definitely are also looking for partners, which used to be called sponsors, but we changed that term because they are more like partners, and so there's some that will sponsor us in various ways. There's all kinds of ways that people can sponsor, either by financial or their time or their venue or something like that, their food or what.
Yeah, and that's amazing.
Yeah.
I think that's how a lot of organizations should look at volunteer, or sponsors or partners rather. Is it doesn't matter what you can contribute, just as long if you can contribute what you can, and that's very important. And same thing back to the volunteers, with what time and dedication you can do. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, that is. So I just would like to find out why public relations to you is an important element for events and organizations and for TEDx.
Yeah, absolutely. I think with TEDx especially, I think it's such an abstract idea that we have ideas worth spreading. What are ideas, and how can we spread those? And it's especially from a PR standpoint, we need to make sure we shape the scope of what TEDx is and how we can get more people on board by, letting them know what TEDx means and how your ideas, everyone's ideas count, and how we can help you kind of take your ideas and put them on stage and have the world listen to them.
Right, great. Well, I know there are definitely some things that are going to be a little different this year, and you're a big part of that too. So from the speakers to the volunteer experience and all of that. So I'm really excited about that. But I did want to ask, in terms of your public relations for your job, what do you do?
Yeah, so it's anything, well, we see ourselves as also storytellers and strategic communicators. And so it's important to, if a company has, their business plan, it's one thing we can push out, media relations and have them tell their story to the local communities. But it's also important to, internally, what do their employees think? How do we help, executives reach their employees? How do we help the executives become better faces of their brand, and how do we help them communicate that? So it's an array of different things, and I'm still learning, but it's been really fun learning all those skills and expanding on them.
Okay, so it's not it's different, a little different from marketing in that it's not, it's just more image?
No, I think that would be more marketing.
Oh, I see.
But no, it's anytime you have a story to tell, we'll be there.
Nice.
Yeah. So,
wow, that's
does that
great.
help?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
does. And it also, I can definitely see how it ties in with volunteer experience and getting people, because you're trying to learn people's story and see where they would be best. And it's not just what their experience is. It's kind of the more they tell their story, the more you can see, hey,
Oh, you should
yeah,
go here.
exactly.
Absolutely. Yeah. So it's been a fun journey so far in Hawaii, and one I'm really proud of.
That's great.
Yeah.
You should. And so, are you still vlogging? The
Yes.
pineapple?
Yes, I am. Not as much because I've been busy, but I definitely need to kind of, tweak it a little bit. And it's so fun when tourists will come, and locals alike, and they'll come and visit, and they'll be like, what should we do? And one of the things is, I have a map, a Google Maps, and it kind of pin drops all the locations around the island. And here you go,
Neat.
go enjoy it, and here's the story of those places. I've been so fortunate to have a great time in Hawaii, and I want everyone else to also.
That's great. Well, we're so excited to sit here
Yeah.
and talk with you. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you again for volunteering. And
Thank you.
And we look forward to seeing you at TEDxHonolulu.
Thank you.